All right, let's break down the highlights today. First, you heard Justice Alito with the common sense arguing people, legal aliens subject to arrest and deportation cannot go ahead and buy a home in America. So why, ipso facto, should there be automatic citizenship for their children? And then you heard President Trump's top litigator saying there are hundreds of birth tourism companies out of China looking to the abuse of the system, reminding Justice Jackson children just can't go buy a home, children of illegal aliens. Let's welcome to the show former DOJ prosecutor Jim Trusty. Jim, your reaction to this case today and where it's headed, because let's break it down. Let's slow it down. Justice Alito sounded the alarm on the children of foreign nationals getting citizenship here, like children of parents who are members of Communist China's military, or a boy born to a member of the Iranian terror regime. That boy has a duty to provide military service to Iran's dictatorship. What's your take on where it's headed?
Well, look, as a starting point, for something that a lot of people laughed off as a conservative fever dream to even pursue this, I think President Trump deserves accolades for pushing it, because birthright citizenship, as currently interpreted, has created a significant national security issue and an election integrity issue. I mean, think of all these. I mean, and frankly, look at the Northern Marianas, right? We've had this history of this one particular outpost in the Pacific where there's a Chinese birthright industry pouring people in to get citizenship and then immediately leave. And it's actually been fostered by prior administrations that loosened the grip on visa requirements and gave parole. So if you have large-scale, industrial-scale birthright citizenship by the Chinese, for instance, they're going to be able to contribute to campaigns with dark money. They're going to be able to vote. They're going to be able to run for office. So this is a real problem. And I think, the conditions on the ground weren't really talked about in depth today. This was legal argument. This was all about, original intent of the 14th Amendment and the import of stare decisis, of precedent. But at the end of the day, I think at least some of the conservative justices are aware of how threatening this situation is if it goes unabated. And that's presumably why President Trump was in the room as well.
Yeah, you talk about what's happening on the ground. I mean, there's 195 nations in the world. 160 of them don't have birthright citizenship, Jim. Here's your argument. Let's talk about illegal aliens. They don't have legal status. They retain legal allegiance to their home countries. If the Founding Fathers meant for the U.S. Constitution to give citizenship to those just physically present here, they would have said that in the 14th Amendment, specifically those words, but they did not. The amendment says subject to the jurisdiction thereof. In other words, if the founders meant otherwise, that clause would be unnecessary.
Yeah, I mean, subject to the jurisdiction thereof, the way it's being interpreted by the ACLU and undoubtedly by the liberal wing of the Supreme Court is that it's meaningless, that it's surplusage, that if you step foot for 10 seconds on American soil and deliver a baby, that because maybe in theory you could have called the police if you got robbed during that pregnancy, during that childbirth, then you've subjected yourself to the jurisdiction of the U.S. It's a laughable kind of unending lack of logic to say that physical presence is the exact same thing as subjecting yourself to jurisdiction.
Thank you so much, Jim Trusty. We appreciate you.